Let's learn about returning and printing. Printing and returning are two related but different ideas. However, many beginners confuse them. Consider these two different scenarios. Say I ask you to recite a poem out loud. Once you are done, the poetry is no longer available to me. I heard it and then it was gone. This is like printing. Now, say I asked you to write that poem down and hand it to me. The poem on paper is a concrete thing that I could hand off to someone else, make edits to, or even destroy. This is like returning a value. Variables and data stored inside of a computer are invisible to us. In order to see the results of computation, we often print variables and values. Calling the built-in print function will cause text to appear on the console. Printing data to the console is a one-way trip, and we cannot get data written there back. When a function is defined, we skip over the body. Although the first line of code was executed, the def, the body is not. When a function is called, execution jumps to somewhere else in the program, specifically the body of that function. Some computations occur, and sometimes a result emerges. When we want to use this result in the calling location, we need to return it. When we use a return statement, execution jumps back to where the function was called. The value returned is substituted in place of the function call. So what happens if we try to print instead of returning? A function in Python always has to return something, so by default it returns none. You will often find mysterious errors caused by forgetting to return. Let's look at the syntactic differences between printing and returning. Return is a special keyword statement. Print is a built-in function. This is why print needs parentheses and return does not. Code inside of a function can print, return, or both. But code outside of a function can only print. It cannot return. When someone tells you to write a function to produce a certain value, you will need to return. The return needs to be the last thing that the function does, because you can only return from a function once. You can only ever return inside functions to the place where the function was called. In general, we return data when another part of the program needs that information. Sometimes we write functions that print. Sometimes we are expected to print the results of calling a function. Sometimes we don't print at all. You must read instructions carefully to know what you are required to do to solve a particular problem. In general, however, we print when we need to get information to the user, as opposed to getting it somewhere else in the program.